Hello, good evening, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Gold PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We are streaming live on Facebook at Port of Tema. Also on Facebook, we are streaming live at Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. On YouTube, we are streaming live at Iron Port Ghana. We'll be getting interactive in the course of the discussion, and then we'll also open the phone lines for you to call, and also announce the WhatsApp messages for you to send in your WhatsApp messages so we can read to the rest of the world. Now we're going to take some messages from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Raw 95.
Fill up with Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for a
Choose Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Raw 95. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, so welcome back from the break. It's time to take some news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has commissioned 4 new marine crafts to help strengthen the security and efficiency of the port of Tema and Takoradi. The 4 marine crafts, made up of 2 pilot boats and 2 patrol boats, will serve the vital role in transporting maritime pilots between the shore and inbound and outbound ships, their piloting, and enhance the port's ISPS compliance and security within the anchorage respectively. The 4 boats were christened after former directors and other senior management staff of GPHA who exhibited exemplary character and contributed to the development of the port and shipping industry in Ghana. They are the late Captain Edmond Deriziem, a former harbour master, the late Kumi Ejesam, former general manager at the Tema Fishing Harbour, Captain Joseph Erekwansa, a former director of the port of Takoradi, and Jacob Kwabla-Adoko, a former director of the port of Tema. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Achagwe-Luguje, gave their honorees ample praise for their fortitude and commitment to duty during their tenure of office and thanked them for their services rendered. He said the multi-functionality of the pilot launches will certainly speed up vessel handling and enable tandem activities that will provide significant time and cost savings for vessels.
This whole project of equipping our ports is within our vision to position our ports as the leading ports in West and Central Africa. And by so doing, we are not only investing in infrastructure to expand our 2 ports and the process of building our 3rd port in Keita, but also to equip the marine front to ensure that security is effective. We are able to respond to ship calls within the shortest possible time by providing the necessary piloting and other marine facilities.
The board chairman of GPHA, Isaac Osei, reaffirmed the authority's commitment to the sustainable development and prosperity of the industry. He also encouraged harnessing the potential of these assets to drive innovation, growth, and competitiveness in Ghana's ports.
Let us continue to work together across government agencies, private sector stakeholders, and international partners to ensure that our corridor remains safe, secure, and fit for business for generations to come.
A Deputy Minister of Transport, Frederick Obeng-Adom, highlighted that government is dedicated to creating an environment for businesses to thrive. He said the latest investment by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority will serve as a catalyst towards attracting a high sense of confidence from clients, especially the shipping lines.
I am convinced that this latest investment by the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, plus the recent procurement of the new tugboats, coupled with the modern and state-of-the-art equipment and infrastructure at the MPS Terminal 3, Takoradi Bulk Terminal and others, will serve as a catalyst towards attracting a high sense of confidence from clients, especially the shipping lines.
The honorees and their representatives took turns to thank management and staff of GPHA for immortalizing their contribution to the growth of the authority.
Mediterranean Shipping Company, MSC, one of the leading shipping companies in the maritime industry, has commissioned an ultramodern office edifice in Tema. This edifice comes with energy-efficient features that sets a new benchmark for eco-friendly development. The ceremony was graced by the Deputy Minister of Transport, Hassan Suleiman Atampuli, Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luigi, Mankralu, and Acting President of Tema Traditional Council, Mi Ajete Agbo, the Italian, French, and Swiss ambassadors to Ghana. Delivering the welcome address, the Managing Director of Mediterranean Shipping Company Ghana, Cedric Gudjon, said the ultramodern office represents the spirit of growth, progress, and collaboration with stakeholders in the shipping industry. He said Mediterranean Shipping Company is committed to providing customers with exceptional services while anticipating many more years of collaboration and success.
Behind me, we see not just an office building, but a catalyst for further development, job creation, and economic prosperity. For over 50 years, the company has grown exponentially, in terms of both volumes and fleet capacity, and now serves millions of customers all around the globe.
The board chairman of Mediterranean Shipping Company Ghana, Captain Michael Loru, has stated that the collaboration between Mediterranean Shipping Company and Ghana will continue to be strong and gave assurance that the Mediterranean Shipping Company will continue to invest in port infrastructure, logistics, human resources, among others.
I can assure you that this partnership between MSC and Ghana is extremely solid and will continue, and MSC will invest further in Ghana and the region. This is clear and sure.
The Deputy Minister of Transport, Hassan Suleimana Tampuli, lauded the management and staff of Mediterranean Shipping Company Ghana for their untiring contribution to the growth of the shipping industry. He said government will continue to create an enabling environment for the shipping industry to thrive.
I wish to take this opportunity to assure you that the government will run the lengths in its efforts, but will continue to pursue sound policies, programs, and projects to ensure that business continue to thrive and contribute to the development of the country. We must keep in mind that this new office complex is more than just a physical structure. It is a symbol of your commitment to progress, innovation, and unshaken collaboration.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, has entreated personnel of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to rally behind the new Commissioner of Customs, Ziblim Ayerogo, to rake in the needed revenue for the state. Julie Esiam made this call when she led some senior officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Customs Division to introduce the new Commissioner of Customs to personnel at the Tema collection. She entreated the officials to accord the new commissioner all the support he needs so as to collect the required revenue due the state.
Now I have the pleasure of introducing to our family. I don't even know how to, it's like Provost Marshal, now Commissioner Customs, Ziblim Ayerogo. So this is the family that you've come to meet. We are one family at GRA. These men and women will always be behind you, and this is GRA.
Ziblim Ayerogo advised personnel to be professional in the discharge of their duties and eschew practices that would not augur well for the division. He, however, promised to have their welfare at heart.
Please work hard. Don't be intimidated. Be professional. Be professional. And together, the day of leaving, the story will be told.
The Commissioner General of GRA and his team paid a working visit to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, where they were received by the Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguje. The visit was to introduce the new Commissioner to the Port Authority and solicit their support for the new customs boss.
I am confident from the week that I have collaborated and I have enjoyed conversations with our new member that you have a very, very reliable partner to collaborate with.
The General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs of GPHA, Esther Jebidonko, congratulated Julie Esiam for her appointment as Commissioner General of GRA and entreated her to address the long-standing issue of VAT on transit.
We are so proud of her and we wish her the very best. I will just use the opportunity to remind the Commissioner General that we are hoping that during her tenure, the VAT on transit issue will be totally dealt with.
The Director General of GPHA said his outfit will work to strengthen the collaboration and partnership between GPHA and the Ghana Revenue Authority.
We have a joint responsibility to ensure that whatever leakage opportunities are there that we are aware of, we make an effort to prevent that. So, good luck. Thank you. And you're always welcome. If there are any questions you want clarifications on, we are ready to help you understand.
The new commissioner was optimistic that with the support of management of GPHA, the revenue due the state will be collected at the ports.
I know that I'm going to have your support. I already have the support of my Commissioner General. I spoke to the court and I know that I have their support. And once that is in place, the rest will be history. So I'm happy to be here.
The GRA delegation also visited Meridian Port Services, where they engaged management to introduce the new Commissioner of Customs and also solicit their support in the discharge of his duties.
To ensure that this facility, which is indeed the heartbeat of Ghana, continues on thriving, right? You mentioned efficiency, you mentioned securing the trade revenue, securing the border, facilitating trade as well. This is our objective, and I'm rest assured that we will 100% collaborate with the new commissioner.
A dignified pull-out ceremony has been held at the Customs headquarters in Accra to honor the outgoing Commissioner of Customs, Alhaji Iddrisu Iddisah Seidu. The event was attended by stakeholders in the port and shipping industry and other security services. Alhaji Seidu, who served over 3 decades in customs, was lauded for his exemplary leadership, dedication and commitment to the service. Under his stewardship, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority witnessed significant reforms resulting in improved efficiency, transparency, and revenue generation. Alhaji Seidu expressed his gratitude to his colleagues and staff for their unwavering support throughout his tenure. He attributed the milestones achieved during his tenure to teamwork and collaboration.
Together, we have modernized our custom procedures, leveraging on technology to enhance transparency and streamline operations, from the purely manual processes to the ASCUDA, GCNet, and now the ICOM SCADA. Recently, we carried out a time-release study to identify obstacles not only in customs, but all our stakeholders, to see how we can make sure that these obstacles are bridged to facilitate the easy clearance of goods from the ports, at the same time to ensure and enhance compliance and enforcement strategies.
Speaking at the event, the Commissioner General of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, praised Alhaji Seidu's visionary leadership and his contributions to the growth and development of the Customs Department. She expressed confidence that his legacy will inspire future generations of customs officers.
Commissioner Seidu has served our country with unwavering commitment and integrity, rising through the ranks to become a beacon of excellence within the Customs Division. Throughout his tenure, he has demonstrated resilience, professionalism, and exceptional leadership. He has been a mentor even to myself, a coach, a brother to me and everyone else at GRA, a friend, and much more to all of us that you see here today.
The incoming Commissioner of Customs, Ziblim Bawa Ayorogo, emphasized his commitment to uphold a higher standard of professionalism as he takes over.
I want to emphasize my unwavering commitment to upholding the highest standard of professionalism, transparency, and accountability. Customs enforcement is a critical component of our national security infrastructure, and it is imperative that we carry out these duties with diligence and integrity.
The Deputy Minister of Finance, Stephen Amoah, praised the outgoing Commissioner for being a steadfast guardian of Ghana's borders and fiscal interests.
Under his direction, our customs operations modernized through innovative technologies and optimized processes. These advancements not only bolstered our security apparatus against threats like terrorism, trafficking, and intellectual property crimes, but also played a pivotal role in facilitating legitimate trade, travel, and economic growth.
The touristic economic potential, besides fishing, of the new Elmina fishing harbour was made a reality on Thursday, 18th April 2024 by Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority progressive decision that resulted in a successful maiden cruise vessel call by SH Vega cruise ship. The remarkable 113-meter-long cruise vessel disembarked 115 passengers by Zodiac boats into the Elmina fishing harbour. The acting director of the Port of Takoradi, Peter Amobediaku, whose purview includes Elmina Fishing Harbour, spoke about the significance of this successful maiden cruise vessel call at the Elmina Fishing Harbour.
This also positions the port, which was initially built to focus on facilitation of fish activities. It has given it a dual purpose now that now we can use the Elmina Fishing Harbour also to attract tourists also into Ghana. The norm has always been that first they will call Tema Port, Takoradi Port, or vice versa, and then they will leave the shores of Ghana. But now, Elmina has been added to the list. They can call Tema or Takoradi first, then anchor at the anchorage of Elmina Fishing Harbour to what? Also tour the other sites or the tourist sites in the central region.
The Ghana Port and Harbours Authority Acting Director of Port of Takoradi was full of commendation for state agencies and stakeholders whose positive collaboration contributed to the success of the historic maiden cruise vessel call at the Elmina Fishing Harbour. The Municipal Chief Executive of Commander, Edina, Eguafo, and Ibirem promised to create the conducive environment needed to encourage and sustain subsequent cruise vessel calls at Elmina.
This is the big gift that we received from the GPHA. And looking at the local economy itself, and looking at the Elmina being a touristic city.
The harbour master of the Port of Takoradi, Captain Daniel Korte, touched on the planning and preparations that made the event a success.
All national agencies that you think are connected to inward and exit terminals of the country were brought together. We have been deliberating for more than about 3 months now just to make today a success.
The Elmina Fishing Harbour manager, Mohammed Obusu, spoke about the historic occasion in his operational domain.
Okay, so away from that, let's take a look at the phrase of the day. And this particular segment is meant to explain the jargons that are used in the port and shipping industry. And today's phrase is merchant haulage service.
Merchant haulage service refers to the service of coordinating third-party logistics services on behalf of the customer. This service is applied based upon the customer's request for the carrier to coordinate inland haulage on a merchant haulage bill of lading.
So back to the studio now, and this evening we are discussing customs modernization and reforms. We're taking the perspective of the immediate past Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority in the person of Alhaji Seidu Iddrisu Iddisah. Alhaji, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Oh, very well. You've always been a friend to Iron Port, and we appreciate the friendship that we have with you. All right, let me take the opportunity to announce the phone lines or the WhatsApp messages for now. So if you'd want to join the discussion, you can join by send your WhatsApp via 053-803-7353. The number again, 053-803-7353. 7353. You can send your WhatsApp messages to this particular number. Also, in the course of the discussion, we would also announce the phone lines, and then you could also call in and share your thoughts. But tonight, we have a big interview with the immediate past Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to look at customs modernization and reforms. And this particular modernization and reforms took place under its tenure. So we want to delve into that deeper to understand how this has helped the clearance of goods at the port and also helped the port and shipping industry. So, Alhaji, 34 years in Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. How has it been for you, Alhaji?
It has been very exciting, challenging. I haven't spent over 3 decades in customs, working at land borders, the sea borders, and the air borders. It has been an exciting experience. Yeah,
if you say exciting experience, I mean, I understand you've gone through the ranks of customs to be able to get to where you've gotten to. Is that the case?
Yes, I joined customs immediately after school as a young officer after training. And I've gone through the ranks, rising through the ranks up to the ultimate rank of Commissioner of Customs before buying out from service.
Must be fulfilled.
Well, it is something I always want every officer to expect and then aspire to.
All right. Okay, so let's take a look at the modernization and reforms that took place under your tenure. What were the key drivers behind the customs modernization efforts during your tenure, and how did you prioritize reforms?
Reforms in customs, like any other big organization, is always necessary. Because for customs, over my 30 years and over, we had gone through a whole lot of reforms from the manual. First, we were doing everything manually. There were different papers for every regime that you are clearing the goods, and even they had different colors. And we move on to semi-automation. That was the Ascuda days.
Okay.
Then we moved to full automation under the GCNet, and now we have come to icons. And even in icons, there are so many phases of it that we had implemented over the period. And all are part of, and apart from that, we had other introductions of measures that aims to modernize and simplify procedures for clearing goods. Because the volumes of trade continue to increase, the dynamics of international trade continues to change, and also challenges, people take advantage of international trade to also do their own thing. So enforcement measures also we have to introduce new measures to address all these challenges.
Okay, so you've taken us through the reforms, the various reforms. At every stage of these reforms, were there challenges? And if there were, what were these challenges? And how are you able to rally everyone on board to be able to successfully implement these particular reforms?
Yeah, there are always challenges. When you are moving from one sphere to another, there will be internal resistance. Stakeholders may not understand. And there will be, resistance from there. And you also need knowledge. So you need to look at stakeholder engagement, a lot of education, a lot of training, and let every stakeholder knows what is at stake for the benefit of that stakeholder. So it was, we had to engage all the stakeholders at the borders, make sure that they take part and they understand what they stand to gain individually and as a whole from those innovations.
Talking about stakeholder support, what strategies did you employ to build the stakeholder support and also engagement among the trade community and other government agencies? Because they also play key roles in these reforms.
Yeah, for cross-border trade, there are a lot of stakeholders. Some are government agencies, some are private agencies, and some are even international agencies. So when you want to make any move to introduce something new, you have to identify all the stakeholders get their involvement, especially those who are important. Some are very important and you must get their involvement, otherwise the thing will not go on. Some need to be informed. Even some need to be, to be trained, including, those who are going to handle the change. And that is what that is the first method we always use, to identify the stakeholders, make sure that both governmental, private, and international, and make sure that we engage all of them. And we have training, and we can then roll it out in phases. Because when you want to roll out something at once, certain times, apart from the resistance, the ignorance can create a blockage for it. So these are some of the methods we use in all the new innovations that we brought into customs.
Still staying with the stakeholders. I know there are some stakeholders who, when these reforms are coming up, they tend to take an entrenched position against these reforms. For such stakeholders, how did you deal with them?
Yeah, we always have to engage them, because sometimes it's either a misconception or they feel their interests has not been taken care of. So if you don't do stakeholder consultation, you will have those things. And normally, in every reform you are doing, there will be some this. Even those who stand to benefit from it, because they don't know what they are likely to benefit from it, will first of all oppose it. And some take an entrenched position. And you have to, but when you start sitting down with them and explaining and getting their concerns answered, they begin to accept it.
So, Commissioner, how then do you also measure the success of the customs modernization initiatives?
Yeah, anytime you are bringing an initiative, your aim is to make sure that you achieve the three main goals. For instance, in customs, our three main goals is first and foremost to facilitate cross-border trade. Secondly, we aim at raising revenue for the government. And thirdly, we aim at providing security at the borders.
Yeah.
So all this, you can't do it alone. You have a lot of very important stakeholders, and you need to make sure that what you are introducing addresses this. Because if you want to facilitate trade, you must be aware that while you are facilitating legitimate trade, there are other illegitimate components of it that you must ensure by making sure that everybody complies. And you need to take that into consideration. Duty payment, yes, a lot of people don't understand. But when you engage them and explain and make it easy for them to pay, and even reward those who pay, who comply, you will see that you will get acceptance of the reforms that you are bringing. And we have come out of all those kind of things in all the reforms that we have introduced.
One major reform was the paperless port process, which moved our clearance system from the manual to electronic.
Yes.
Have we achieved the objective for which this policy was rolled out?
To a very large extent, it was one of the measures that ensure that, you don't need to spend so much time physically to be around to clear goods. The paperless, project was part of the single window project, where all agencies engaged and are brought under one platform through the use of technology. And you don't need to bring a paper or to go. Everybody can present his part of the document that is needed for the clearing process. He can submit it online, and it makes it easy for it to be processed, and the goods are released on time. So it has been largely a successful thing. Of course, when it came, it also definitely you also start seeing certain challenges.
Very well.
Yeah.
What were some of the most significant reforms you implemented, and how have they improved customs operations and trade facilitation?
Yeah. For instance, we introduced what we call the authorized economic operators.
Okay.
It is a reward system where you use, risk models to identify those who have been complying, when they are clearing their goods, they comply effectively.
Okay.
So you identify them and make sure that anytime their goods come in, you simplify things for them to go. And then even if you have something to look at, you can use the post-clearance audit when they have cleared it in to look at them. And it is something that is a reward to those who comply. At the same time, it doesn't mean that he will get it forever. If he continues to comply, he will get it. Those who are not complying and begin to comply may also come in. And those who were complying and had it and they are no more complying over a period of time will be demoted out of it.
Yeah.
It is one of the reforms that we implemented. And I mean, people started, traders and individuals who want to benefit from it started complying and making sure that they go according to the procedures that have been identified. It's one of the a very important reforms that we implemented. We also tried to break down, the Customs Technical Service Center does classifications and valuations on all goods cleared from all the ports. So when we introduced it, we realized that yes, it makes sure that compliance was perfect. It made sure that facilitation was done. But some of the smaller, especially the land borders, started complaining that there are these things delay because they are clearing in smaller, quantities. And sometimes we pay attention to the larger goods than them. So we decided to make sure that we decentralize it under the control of the technical center, but we trained officers at the various districts so that they can be doing their own, they can be valuing and classifying goods coming from their side under the supervision of the center in Accra. Yeah. And that we trained officers, we delegated some of the duties to them, and it has also helped in facilitating the easy clearance of goods at those places. We had also introduced what we call a central monitoring system, where electronically, we have these scanners, and then we analyze the images of the scans. We also at the Tema port. Now we have moving it, the monitoring of the scanners to headquarters.
Okay.
And not only the scanners, we are also monitoring not only Tema, the airport, and the exit points at the lands. Okay. So the officers sit there, get the images, analyze it in real time, and they can easily, send information if something is found, not to be in line. And that, enhances compliance. Because sometimes when you leave everything at the same place, the tendency of people seeing each other and compromising is greater.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best practices that we have introduced, and it's currently being implemented. So there are a series of them, and we are making sure that all of them go through. We have also tried to do custom-to-customs cooperation.
Very well.
What happens is that, in international trade, not everybody is prepared to compromise.
Yeah.
To comply.
Yeah.
Some bring fake documents, some misdescribe goods, and some even change the country of origin, because the country of origin has a role to play in the final duty that we pay. So we have identified our major trading partners across the world, and we have, started having a process of exchanging information on the goods that are leaving their distance, each other's country to the other country. So you can have an independent information of the type of goods, the quantity of goods, the description, and even the codes before it comes. So when you get what they are bringing and it doesn't comply with it, it is easy. It is a risk model that can easily be done. That can easily be, make sure that we get those who are compliant and we apprehend those who are not compliant. Yeah. Another important thing is our neighboring countries. We are connecting our systems to them through, the SIGMAT.
Yes.
Where informations that, basic information from our system here can be given to them and vice versa. So if somebody says he's clearing goods from Tema and going to, let's say, Côte d'Ivoire, if the goods arrive there, the Côte d'Ivoire customs system gives us information on the importer, the description of the goods, the quantities, and even how he entered it over there. If there is any deviation from what we send to them, we can easily, so this, in addition to having this monitoring at the exit point, add to the enforcement of those who say they are going out and money to dodge on the way. So all these things have been introduced and they are currently being implemented.
All right. I'm sure the objective of all these reforms is to raise revenue.
Yes, it's the major objectives, but there are other objectives.
Okay.
Not all the goods that goes are free goods. Some are of security importance. And with the emergence of conflicts and terrorism in our area, we need to make sure that we monitor and exchange information on goods that are, because not all the goods are, some of them are precursors, some of them are weapons that can be used by terrorists. So it has security implications and revenue implications. Yeah.
So, and I also know there is a thin line between trade facilitation and then security.
Yeah.
So, at what point do you determine that I'm not going to allow these goods to go because of the security implications, or rather, I would let these goods go because I know my risk that I've done indicates that there's nothing untoward that's going to happen? How do you determine that?
Yeah, we always have information, like I said, from the manifest and the other information risk models that we have put in place. We have information on every goods that is going, and by training, we know which goods can be used for multiple purposes, especially those which are security risk. When those goods are going, we don't just say we won't allow it to go, but we will make sure that they comply with all regulations and procedures. Some need to even be escorted, while others, we can just use the electronic monitoring to monitor its movements. But some, we involve other security agencies like the national security, the police, to make sure that they are escorted and handed over to the receiving country because of the security implications of it. And before they arrive here, we already get information from the other country to know that whether they are aware that those goods are coming. You can't just say, I've brought, let's say, something that is of security concern, and we will not contact the importing country and the destination country, and just release it, because anything can happen. If it's diverted, the consequences is more than revenue. It is about the safety of citizens.
Okay. Yeah. So talking about diversion, I know you've played a lot of role in the transit trade. If I should ask, what's the state of our transit trade now?
Well, the transit trade has always been a challenge. Ghana being a transit route to most of our sister countries around. Some people take advantage of it, and they bring goods and claim they are going to the other country.
Yeah.
And before you realize it is diverted, first, they don't pay duty. And the most important thing is that because they don't pay duty, they sell the goods at a cheaper price than those who have paid duty. So they are staggering those who are complying. So over the years, we have introduced a whole lot of things, apart from, the monitoring that I've mentioned, the electronic monitoring of the goods, and giving them a route to pass and monitor it to the exit point. We have also now had major contacts with our counterparts at the other side, to make sure that when the goods are received, because sometimes some of them even go to the border. Most of the borders, you cross from one side, go into the no man's land, before you get to the customs of the other side and the other security services there. They will just go cross it and make sure that they discharge the goods and it finds its way either back into Ghana or, our borders are very porous. But with digitization, we have been able to make sure that we monitor most of them and we have been able to apprehend a lot of those who dodge, who try to divert. And when we arrest those who divert, the punishment is so severe that a number of them, it has decreased now, but you can never eliminate it totally.
Commissioner, when we are talking about the punishment, what's per the Customs Act? What punishments are recommended for such people?
Yeah, in the Customs Act, apart from letting them pay the duty with a penalty of up to 300%, you also have the right to prosecute those who misdescribe, who divert, and who try to dodge duty by any means. And the board and top management had, agreed that, look, it is high time we start prosecuting. We normally pay so much attention to the revenue. And because of the importance of revenue to government, the Commissioner General has been given a quasi-judicial power to impose a penalty. But it also makes provisions for him to prosecute the person in court. So the board and top management, in their latest decision, have decided that, look, let's prosecute those who do that. That will serve as a deterrent to those who are doing it. Because sometimes when you give the penalty, they are prepared to pay, and the next time, the same person, you catch him doing it. But if you go to court and maybe he's either imprisoned, and even the publication of it, because when we are giving this penalty, it is between us and the person. But when you go to court and then the proceedings are going on and everybody knows that, yes, he has been taken to court for doing this and that, it will serve as a lesson to others and to stop doing that. So of late, we have started prosecuting a number of them. In addition, especially the major ones, to serve as a deterrent.
Compliance. Would you say that traders are now compliant based on the reforms that you've put in place, based on the deterrent actions that you've taken?
Yeah, we have what we call layers of enforcement. So apart from the RICS model in our ICOM system, where, officers look at the history of the importer and the agent, the goods, the origin of the goods up to where it's coming, checking their description, their origin, and everything. We still have monitoring teams that we have put in place at Tema, the eastern frontier, and the western frontier, so that even if you are able, no matter, the layered approach is like if you have a house and you build a wall around the house and put a gate. You may even put a fence, electric fence. Before you realize, some people are able to come, either they come and make sure that they still, despite all these gates, they can pass inside. You still have to put, some strong windows and doors to make sure that they don't enter, and even sometimes dogs in the yard. All these are layers of security, and we do that in border management too. So we have layers. Apart from the barriers we have, which check things, we also have monitoring teams, which, and intelligence branches who receive information and who, if you may escape from one place, especially with the porosity of our borders, you can escape, go and pass through an unapproved route, but you will still be caught somewhere along the line. So compliance have increased a lot when we introduce these measures. Right now, sometimes, yes, it causes inconvenience. You sometimes hear people saying that, no, we are inconveniencing them. But if, we always make sure that those who comply are given clearance. The amount of people we arrest and some of the things that escape from sometimes at the port, you'll be surprised. I remember some people, there was a case where somebody misdescribed mackerel. He entered it as spiral pins and took about 4 containers of it, managed to go through the Green Channel, and he left them a port. It was the Western Monitoring Team that arrested him in Kumasi. And we found out that it was sardine. And that has made us to put better measures in place to make sure. It is one of the reasons why we even decided to centralize the monitoring.
Okay.
And to train the officers and make sure that we can have independence stage where they monitor it and analyze it to make sure that they don't take something like sardine and claim that it's spiral pins.
Yeah. So let's come back to your tenure as Commissioner of Customs. How did you address the need for cultural and organizational change within the Customs Agency to support your modernization efforts?
Yeah, we did it through a lot of training of the officers, because sometimes certain officers, and even the other stakeholders, sometimes they do things out of ignorance. And I, from experience, have always emphasized on capacity building. Let me give you an example. There was some time when I was a young officer in Tema.
Okay.
That time I didn't know anything about computer. And we're clearing computers. Computer pass.
Yeah.
And there was a system of clearing called PUB, and you do the examination before the person go to pay.
Okay.
And the monitors was described as 12 inches TV. The keyboard, they told us it was the mouse. And we never knew what was mouse. At that time, I never knew what a mouse was. So they said the keyboard was a mouse. And we valued it as a mouse. And mouse, the real mouse was said it was just an accessory. We did this ignorantly.
Yeah.
Until when we were, going into GCNet and they started training us. So when we went to Jimpa for training, then I remember the thing and I said, if they had caught this thing, they would say it was deliberate.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we didn't know.
Yeah.
So that emphasizes why we should always carry out capacity building, both for officers and all other stakeholders, to make sure that they actually understand what they are doing and the purpose for which we are introducing the changes. And that is one of the things that we have done anytime we are introducing this thing. We have engaged, we have built capacity, we continue to build capacity both in and out of the country.
Okay.
And top management and the board had emphasized on it. And it has brought a lot of improvement in our work. That's why we have seen over the years, we have seen a lot of revenue growth and enforcement measures, a lot of interdictions of illegal items through this kind of capacity buildings. Yeah, so that is the way we handle.
Okay. I'll be coming back to that, but let me find out from you. You know, the Vice President had announced that he wanted 4 hours to be used to clear goods from the port. Do we still have some importers getting their goods out of the port within the 4 hours?
Yes, what happened was that, yes, that was a directive from the Vice President. We decided to take it serious and put measures. As part of the measures, we did what we call, there's a tool that has been developed by the World Customs Organization for custom administration all over the world to test, to carry out and find out how it takes for goods that lands in the port and the time it takes for it to be cleared. So, last year it's called time release studies.
Yeah.
It is a tool from the West, developed by the WCO. We implemented it and did the studies. It is not just about customs; it is for all stakeholders.
Agencies, okay.
With all the agencies that is involved in clearing. We identified all the delays, but we have also realized that with the current system, we realize that those who want to comply, because we do pre-arrivals, so even while your goods are on the way, you can't make a declaration, a BOE, pay, and wait for it. When it comes, immediately the ship finish discharging.
Yeah.
You can pick your goods. Those who use it, majority of them are able to clear, less than 2 days.
Okay, less than 2 days.
Less than 2 days.
Okay.
Others, especially those who need licenses and permits, sometimes they are delayed from the licensing, some of the licensing issuing authorities or permit issuing authorities. So he might have finished everything with the port authorities, with customs, but customs will not release it because he hasn't got a permit to bring in those goods. And we identify all this from all the stakeholders. because we engaged all of them. They were part of the study, and it has come out. We've identified all the delays, and we have set up another committee to implement, to make sure that we reduce it, to ensure that, we comply with what the Vice President said. And actually, like I said, those who are, prepared to clear their goods within there, because it takes the importer first to do it. Because some of them, the goods come and he leaves it standing there for a very long time. He has not made any effort. For that one, we can't do anything about it. But those who are complying, there has been a tremendous improvement on it. And like I said, some of them cleared their goods within 2 days. Yeah.
All right. This is where we take our very first break. We're going for our first break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the interview. I've been discussing the perspective of the immediate past, Commissioner of Customs, on customs modernization and reforms, and then he's led some of the reforms, and then we assessing how those reforms fed, and also the benefits that we derive from those reforms. We're going for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Mame, boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fill up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifu, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water. Or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS. We connect. You thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
So welcome back from the break. We're still discussing customs modernization and reforms. Perspective of the immediate past Commissioner of Customs, Alhaji Seidu Iddrisu Iddisah. Just gone by in our stories, pull-out ceremony was held for him to finally for him to bow out of the customs division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. It's time to activate the phone lines. So if you want to join the discussion, you can call 0205 528353. The numbers have been displayed on your screens. And in the meantime, I have some messages here. So this one says, "Good evening, sir. Tell Commissioner to keep up the good work he's doing for Mata Ghana. It's really a hard worker." This is from Jahaya Kwata. I always call him brother-in-law. I don't know whether you know him.
No, him.
Okay. Let's come to our ports. What do you make of the current state of our ports in Ghana?
Well, our ports in Ghana they are one of the best as far as facilities are concerned in the whole of the sub-region and even in Africa. They have improved upon all what it takes to receive, handle cargo, and dispatch them. We have also introduced a lot of coordination between the various stakeholders. And we must always realize that we are competing with other ports, especially, not even for transit goods, but even for goods coming into Ghana. Because, I mean, if somebody would decide, a Ghanaian decide to take his goods to Togo, we cannot say he shouldn't take it there. But our ports, in fact, you remember the other time where we traveled outside to Burkina Faso, they acknowledged that our ports are one of the best. Yeah, maybe they only complain of some of our charges that are a little too high, especially the shipping lines. But that one we are working, we are holding talks with the shipping lines to make sure that we address some of the things. Some of them also complain of some of the levies we give them, and we have brought it up for attention at the highest level.
Okay, so let's go on the phone lines now and welcome Boatin from Amaya. Hello, Boatin. Good evening, and thanks for calling. So go ahead with your submission, please.
All right. So first of all, I want to congratulate Commissioner for his many good works. So far, his tenure in office has been a great one. He's done a very great job. As far as I'm aware, he's made several strides in the industry that has won him some praises, which he might not know, but I know, and a lot of people do make very positive comments about him. So I want to congratulate him. Going forward, what I want to say is that a lot of issues happen at the port which go unnoticed. One of them is the way and manner people, especially the agents, they manage to swindle importers or people who import cars into the country, how they manage to swindle them. It's said that it is real. I imported a car, and within a short time, before I could realize the car had been sold without recourse to me, the importer. How it happened, I still cannot explain. I have tried severally to get my car back. As I speak with you, I haven't gotten it. I have written several petitions, and it's gone down the drain. It wasn't the tenure of Mr. Seidu though, but I put one in not long ago, but it hasn't been attended to. I want to believe probably it hasn't gotten to his attention from what I hear from about him. So in conclusion, all that I want to say is he's done a very great job, honestly. But I think going forward, we should find ways and means of solving this issue of cars being auctioned or sold without the consent of whoever first imported, notwithstanding the fact that the thing is gone on demurrage or is expired, whatever it is, there should be some decorum given to whoever imported it first, the importer. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Barton, for calling. Commissioner, you heard him?
Yeah, I heard him. I will just say that it's very unfortunate because the law is not, meant to take cars from the genuine importers. In actual fact, it's because the port needs to be decongested from time to time for new goods to come in.
Very well.
The law has been made that if you bring in a car, for instance, you are given up to 60 days to clear the car from the port.
Okay.
Even after the 60 days, when it exceeds the 60 days, it is now, we still have to gazette it.
Yeah.
And the process of gazetting, and 2 weeks after the gazetting, if the owner writes to us, given reasons why he was not able to clear it.
Within the 60 days.
Within the 60 days and beyond. And the car, up to 2 weeks after the Gazette has been published, we give it back to him. Sometimes the major problem is some of them, the vehicle come and maybe he hasn't got the BOE. Sometimes it's not only about cars, it's mostly about other goods. He has not yet fully settled the purchase price with the supplier.
Okay.
And the supplier is holding on
to some documents.
So he hasn't got the documents to clear it.
Very well.
We have had a number of such situations. Sometimes some of our custom house agents, some of them who are not professional, do not give them the right information. And before you realize, the 60 days has come, it has been gazetted, the 2 weeks has passed, and then it is allocated. Otherwise, we always give the
owner
the first option to take his goods.
Okay.
So I believe that, I don't know why his petition has kept long and they have not even, they have not asked, told him what is the problem.
Maybe he has to do a follow-up.
Yeah, he has to do a follow-up. Yes.
Okay, so let's go back on the line and welcome from Kaswa.
The first time I encounter with Alhaji Seidu, it was wonderful. I never knew him from Adam. Somebody directed me to him. And the way that day the office was packed and he was able to dispatch everybody. And when you enter the office, the smile alone, even if your problem doesn't solve, the way he talks to you is very good. And his human relations is very good. And if we have people like this in the Ghana Custom Authority, I think we'll go a long way to help the country. I can remember General Bedinstein. I know him. He was also a hard-working guy like Seidu. So I think people like this, even when their time is expiring, we should give them contracts so that they can be able to train others to fit into their position before they leave the country, because these people are helping the country to move forward. So why should we allow them to go out whereby we have not got people that will replace them? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Yahaya, for calling. All right, thank you. So, Commissioner, you were explaining about the auction. So, is it possible for somebody to import a car and then for the car to get missing just like that?
That is why I say there's a need for him to follow up, and I believe that we have departments that will go into it deeper and find out what was the reason.
Okay.
Yes, because I can't imagine how the car got missing in the port. But that's not the first time I've heard such a thing. I remember when I was in charge of Ethics and Good Governance, where investigations was under me. There was a case like that where somebody said his car was made, and we followed up. Somebody had
a cheat.
It wasn't a cheat. It wasn't even auctioned. Somebody cleared it with, with this, and he was able to clear it with a bill of lading. You know, for us, the original bill of lading is the proof of ownership of the car, of the owner, the ownership of the car or the goods. Somebody cleared it, and we had to refer the matter to police because we knew the one who cleared it. And car is something that you can't hide.
Very well.
So we referred the thing to the police. But otherwise, in his case, I think he should follow up, and then they should be able to point out what happened, unless maybe it went on UCL. It was, gazetted and auctioned. That one, when it is allowed that before you petition, there's nothing we can do because it has already, it went through the process. But if it didn't go through the process or it went through the process the wrong way, we should be able to unearth what is happening.
Okay. Talking about the 60 days, are importers aware of the 60 days? Do they know that when you import a car, you should be able to clear it within 60 days?
Oh, it is, a lot of them know. A lot. I think the problem is that majority of them bring the car and they are not prepared. They don't have the money for the duties. And while they are delaying, demurrage and other charges come in.
Certain, yeah.
Majority of those I know have got problems. This is what has happened. But they are aware that they have a time limit to take the car away from the port. But they always delay, sometimes looking for money to pay the duty. And before they get the money, sometimes the demurrage goes more than twice the duty. And he leaves it. Some also, like he was explaining, there are a lot of fraudsters who will also take advantage. You know, technology has got its good side and it has got its bad side too. Some people defraud genuine importers, and before they realize that they are being defrauded, it is too late. So we need to do more education on it, together with the freight forwarders, because we should do more education on it, because a lot of importers of vehicles do not know that. In fact, those who even arrest in town, those who pass through the borders, people just buy and they don't check. And car, in particular, is not something you can hide.
Very well.
It is going to be on the road for the next 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
If you don't do the right thing, you'll be exposed. Every month, we arrest between 60 and 100 cars.
Yes, your men are doing a good job on the road.
And most of those we arrest are victims. They come to you and you listen to their story, you pity them, but there's nothing you can do.
All right, we'll come to that. Let's now go on the phone lines and welcome Michael from Takoradi. Good evening, Michael, and thanks for calling.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Michael, with your submission.
I just want to congratulate Commissioner for good work done. In fact, during her tenure, I can see he has done a very good job. But one concern I want to know is about the auction cars. Assuming I'm an importer, then I brought my card and the duty catch the car. I knew definitely you have my contact. If a time for auction, at least, I should be given the opportunity for my car. But the government will impound the car and later on auction it in cheap price for someone to be using it. I want to be clear on that issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. I think Commissioner explained earlier.
Yeah, but I think that he will need to, I understand where the angle he's coming from. A lot of people, they feel that when there's auction, the first option should be given to the owner.
Yeah.
It is misunderstood. What I explained is the actual meaning of it. That before the auction, even if it's real auction, not allocation, and the auctioneer's hammer is up, and the owner say, "I want, to pay for my listing."
It could be considered,
him, but he must pay everything, including all the charges.
Oh, okay.
if you are, I mean, not that a price you are going to auction to somebody, you should give it to him. Otherwise, nobody will pay duty. They will all wait for it to go to that level.
Exactly.
In any case, these days, it's not cheap. First, since time Moria were just trying to, clear the port by just giving, prices. But these days,
you pay the actual duty.
You pay the actual duty for it. The only thing that we remove from it is the overage penalty. And the overage penalty, the purpose is to discourage people from bringing it inside. So if you were not the one who brought it inside, and government is now a government property and we're selling to you, we cannot give that penalty to you. But all the other duties, they pay. So auction vehicles are no more as cheap as they used to be. And those people come and then look for auction. They say, one will give it to them, they say the price is too much. And we say, oh, that's the price. But I think that the explanation that he needs to know is that if we are to sell, you were to pay, let's say, 100 million for a car, and you couldn't pay, and we are giving it to somebody, maybe mine was this is 80 million. We cannot give it to you at 80 million, because if we give it to you at that price, nobody will pay you. Everybody will wait for it to auction it to him. So given the first option is for the person to go back and settle. He has given a reason why he couldn't pay. We say, okay, you go and pay. Sometimes we even give him a penalty, but that we are giving it back to you to pay, maybe with some small penalty. But if it is going to be auctioned, we can't auction it back to the owner. It will be against the principle of the law, the spirit of the law.
Okay, thank you. So, Commissioner, now let's take a look at the way bridges.
Okay.
And then there have been some, reports of people getting their goods weighed at the port, and then by the time they get onto the motorway or any other way bridge, the weight is reduced, and then we don't know how this comes about.
Yeah, the issue is that there are two issues there. One is, yes, we had way bridges in the port, but most of them are very old, and they have not been serviced or calibrated for a very long time. So the readings are different from what the road, Ghana highways will read. And because of that, we had, with the help of our stakeholder, Ghana Link, we are putting up new way bridges. In fact, they are almost complete. I remember last 2 weeks, I was told that some of them have been completed. That are modern, state-of-the-art way bridges. And for Tema, for instance, and we are doing some even at other areas, it will address that situation. Because some goods are valued by weight. So apart from losing revenue, when the way bridge is not well calibrated, it is also a threat to our roads, and that's why. And even that's why Ghana Highways sometimes have to offload some of the goods to make sure they comply with the distance. And secondly, even some of the goods going outside on transit.
Commissioner, let me pick Frederick from Katama, so then we come to you. Hello, Frederick. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Frederick, go ahead with your submission.
Please, I wanted to find out if I'm buying a car from, let's say, hello, good evening, sir. Please, I wanted to find out if I'm buying a car from Togo, and what's the process, the duty I have to pay, and the duty, is it the same as the one you are clearing from Tema Harbour, or there's some process you have to go through before you can pay the duty at the port?
Okay, point well noted, Frederick. So
yeah, I've heard him. If you are buying a car from Togo, what I will advise you is that before you pay for the car, know that you are going to pay duty when the car comes to Ghana. Duty is paid at where the goods are consumed. Togo has what we call a free port. A free port doesn't mean that you come there and you don't pay anything.
I think that's a misconception out there.
What happens is that if you bring goods to that port, and just like in Ghana here, even if you are you are sending the goods to another country on transit, we can't collect the duty here.
Yeah.
The duty is paid at where the goods will be consumed. But the free port has an area where you can even dispose of the goods.
Yeah.
In the port. You can sell it. If you sell it, if the person is going to use the car or the goods in Togo, he will pay the duty there. But if he's not using the when you reach the country where you are sending it, you will pay the duty. Majority of our people don't know that they will pay duty. They think that if they buy it at Togo,
then
that is all.
That is all, yes.
So they buy it, and when they come and they are confronted with the duty, then they realize that it is not something they can pay.
Yeah.
And they leave the car at the entry point, and eventually it is auctioned. Some also, and that is where majority of Ghanaians are deceived. Because of this, our ECOWAS, protocols, where citizens of ECOWAS country can drive their cars to each other's country and be given permission to stay for a period not more than 3 months.
Yeah.
A lot of Ghanaians who are bringing cars, especially cars which are overage, and there's overage penalty in addition to the duties.
Yeah.
They bring the cars to Togo, and there is a gang. People with Togolese, most of them are not even properly registered in Togo. They will find a way of getting documents to cover and put a number on it, get a Togolese who will drive the car. According to our protocol, you can just come and say, I'm visiting Ghana. We are related across the borders.
Yeah.
I'm coming to visit my family, or I'm coming to do some business within 1 week. They give him the distance. He drives the car and come and leave it
in Ghana
with the person who paid him to do that. And those who do that, the next day he's able to remove the thing and also get a fake Ghanaian number, or sometimes they may not even register. Most of them they register it with a fake Ghanaian and fake documents. They will go into the system, get a similar car which has paid duty. They will print the documents and change the chassis number of the particular. Every car has its unique chassis number.
Yeah.
They will change whatever numbers are different from the other car which has paid the duty on the car.
Yeah.
And sell it at cheaper because he has not paid the duty. He sell it at cheap price. And normally when Ghanaians see the car that he knows is normally sold at 150,000 being sold at 50,000
or 30,000,
he rush to go and pay.
Yeah.
Without finding out.
Yeah.
And like I said before, car is not like a fridge which will even be in the room. It will be on the road. You will be caught. So anytime you are buying such a car, come take the particulars of the car and come to customs. We'll tell you how much you pay when you get to Ghana.
Yeah.
If you know you have the money to pay, you buy. Otherwise, then you say, I won't buy.
That's all. All right. So, Commissioner, we just have barely 1 minute to go. I want to find out from you, looking back, what do you consider your greatest achievement in your modernization efforts? Looking back.
Well, like I said, modernization in customs has been continue to be a process. We had played roles even before I got to the commissioner level. And I'm proud that we have done a lot, but I know there's still a lot to cover. That will make processes easier, payment easier, clearance of goods easier, and I'm proud that I've played my part.
Okay, what will be your advice to the current commissioner?
We had talked a lot when I was before. In fact, I will spend more than a week handing over. So I've told him some of the challenges. I've pointed out officers that areas that he can rely on, stakeholders that he can rely on, things that he needs to. And he has a lot of experience himself. But getting to a new place, he needs to learn, and I know he can learn very fast. Always make sure that he follows the rules. We are law enforcement, not lawmakers.
And finally, what's next for Alhaji Seidu?
Yes, I want to take some time and rest, and then look at opportunities ahead. Retirement from public service doesn't mean that it's useless. A lot of other things that you can do. For me, I grew up on my son. All along, even while I was in the service, continued to farm in my village. It's one of the things it's both a hobby and a profession.
Okay.
And as a lawyer, I may look at other ways. Yes, no, not necessarily. There are other ways you can play your part as a legal person. As a customs officer, there are also other ways. So there are opportunities, both internal and external, and I'm looking at them.
All right. Thank you very much for obliging us, Commissioner, immediate past Commissioner of Customs, Alhaji Seidu Iddrisu Iddisah has been my guest for this evening. We've been discussing customs modernization and reforms perspectives from the immediate past Commissioner of Customs. My name is Solomon Anderson, and thank you for watching the show. Join us same time next week.